Hey everybody, welcome. Hang on, I gotta clean my lens. I forgot to do that. There we go, that's better. All right, so I'm gonna give it a few minutes for people to jump on if they wanna jump on. I'm picking a different time today just to see, I don't know. If nobody jumps on, we'll still move on. All right, so we are going to be using the PowerTex again. So if any of you saw my post, you'll see that I made a sculpture. So, all right. Oh, cool. I got enough rope. Wasn't sure if I was going to have enough rope. Hey, Laura. Welcome, guys. So, I have got my table covered. I've got my bowl out. This is the sculpture that I made yesterday. So, I figured I would bring her down so that you could see kind of in person what she looks like. Now, this was all done with PowerTex. Hey, B. This was done with t-shirt material and PowerTex. So you can see how hard it is. This won't be completely like hard for two to 3 weeks. So I was so pleased with this. And this was only my second time using the PowerTex. So I am going to set her out of the way because I don't want anything to get on her. So today, we're trying something yet again new. Thank you. So this is going to be my fairy door. So my husband has been wanting to do this thing. We have a big tree in the front of our yard. And it's like half dead, half still alive. Hey, Chloe. So he's been wanting to do this thing where we put like a door and have like a little sign, and it's either like a gnome whole house or fairies or whatever. So today we're going to do a fairy one. So I have got my styrofoam, and the new formula on the PowerTex is now waterproof. So that is amazing. So I have some fabric laid out. I do have another t-shirt that I can cut up. I'm going to use this doorknob. This is like the knobs on my cabinets, but this is going to be our little knob for a door. And we had some, hi Star, I got some little hinges. So I have not played with the stone art yet, which you can make like an air dry clay. I haven't played with this yet, other than I added some into the base of my sculptor to give it a little bit of texture, and then I covered it with the moss so you couldn't even see it. So that's all I've done, but you can mix this with any of the universal mediums and make an air dry clay. So I am anxious to try that. So once I do, hey Deborah, I am going to try to make my own like hinges. But for today, we're going to use these. I've got some rope, I've got some t-shirt material, I've got some flowers. So I don't know, we're just going to see what I come up with. And then I'm going to make, this is going to be a little sign. So I am probably going to, I'm probably going to do that first. Do I have a little tiny square? I don't want to use my longer strips. And I do. I have this. So I'm going to submerge this in my mix, and I'm going to cover this, and we're going to let this harden while I work on the door. so that way I can finish my little sign. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna tip you guys down so that you can see what I'm doing, and hopefully we can come up with something kind of cute today. So I didn't have a video for tonight. Hey, Kathy. Because I worked on my sculpture yesterday all day. So I'm like, crap, I don't have anything. So I figured I'd go live, and my husband wanted me to make one of these anyways. So that's what we're gonna do. Hey, Jenny. So let me grab a sip of soda here. So I did go to the distribution, the warehouse here locally, and picked up some more colors. So I have more colors. I even have the clear. All right, so let me cut my piece of fabric. I'm gonna tip you guys down so that way you can kind of see what I'm doing. So I don't mind this overlapping a little bit, but I don't want it to be so much that it looks crappy on the back. And scissors. So I'm just gonna cut that like that. So then we can get that around, and we could adhere this all the way around. I can cut the corners, and I'm gonna cut a spot in the middle. Because I don't want it to be too bulky for whatever I decide to attach to the back of this. Or actually, I think we're gonna put this like over the house. All right, so, okay, that's gonna be good. Let me get some gloves on, guys. And I do have a bowl of hot soapy water with a rag to wipe my hands, because I definitely found that works a lot better. And then I can rinse my gloves off and take them off in between. Because if they get too sticky, your fabric wants to stick to your gloves. So, all right, so we're gonna go in, and I have plastic down. I just took an old dollar store bag, cut it up, and I did already mix all my mediums, so I'm just gonna shake it up again, and we're gonna put it in here. And I'm gonna put a good amount this time, because we're gonna be doing this whole door too. So, and this container is a bit big, but it's what I have for right now. So I'm just gonna like prop it up so that most of the stuff stays down here. And when working with this, when you pour out of it, try and keep your cover really, really clean, because it will bond to the cover. But I did buy an opener that's specifically for these bottles. So, yeah. All right, so we're gonna plop that in there. So you want to make sure that your fabric is coated both sides really, really well, so that it's saturated, but not dripping. And then I just squeegee out, you know, what I can. So I'll set that there, and we'll get this one done. So we'll get the sign made first, and then we will start working on the door. All right, oops. Good thing that's plastic. All right, so I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna lay this out, and we're gonna put this on the back. So that's going to give us the back of our sign. And this is just a piece of cardboard, guys. So that's why on this one, I am coating the whole thing in the PowerTex. So that way this cardboard will now become waterproof once this dries. And I'm just gonna smooth the backside out as much as I can. And then we will just fold that over. And it is a fairy house, so it doesn't have to be, you know, like 100% perfect. All right, so there is the start of our little sign that's going to go over the top of our little fairy house. Now, the one thing I did not think of ahead of time, and of course I cleaned my desk. All right, let me rinse my hands real quick so I can get a medicine cup to sit that on. So I'm going to tip this over and we will just sit this on here like that, just so it can dry, because I don't want it to like adhere to anything. Alrighty, now the fun begins, guys. So I have a whole bunch of different lengths of fabric and in my scissors. So I'm just going to kind of cut them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrunch them like this way so that it's going to make like wrinkles. So it'll kind of give us that like hopefully wood look. And I have another big section, so I can do the same here. And then if we need more, we will just cut more. Okay. So I can put these over here. And I have rope and other things to put on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these coated. I'll get a bunch of them done. And then we can start laying them down. And I'm trying to make sure that you can see kind of what I'm doing here. I'm just literally squeezing the excess out. And then I will take it and I'll squeeze it into the dry piece, and that gets out any of the excess. So I'm just going to set that here for now. And this stuff, guys, is so fun. Oh my goodness. It is extremely, extremely addicting. I have got so many different ideas running through my head. Now, like right here, you can see that little bit of gray. You just want to make sure that you have like no fabric that is with no mixture in it. None of the universal mixture. So right now I have green, black, white, and the transparent as far as the mediums. So the next one I'll be getting, they have blues, they have reds, yellow. So once you have like all the different colors, you can make your own colors. You know, like blue and yellow make green, red and yellow make orange. All right, so we've got this. The only thing is it is messy, and you gotta make sure, oh, I'm gonna cut that one in half, that you have plastic down. In fact, I have, oh, that was from yesterday. All right, so I'll get these ones done, and then we'll start laying some before I mix that last one. So if anybody would like to see how I made the sculpture, I can definitely do a video on it, but it will probably be like a series in order to try to keep it, you know, at a reasonable time, because that literally took me all afternoon, and last night I finished it. So, but I would love to, I'd like to do another one, because now I know like what I did wrong on the body structure. You know, it's not wrong, but I could have made it better, I should say. All right, so we're just gonna set that in the back of the bowl. I'll set this one off to the side, and we are gonna lay our fabric. And I do want this to go over the side, even though I am gonna put some rope. I do want the side covered. I'm just gonna smooth it out first, and then we'll kind of get the texture in. I also have some really weird like cardboard stuff, so I might actually even try some of that on the door. I don't know. We will see. There's just so much that you can do with it. All right, so now I'm just going to squeeze to get like that wood kind of texture. You know, kind of like bark looking. So that way when I go in with my colors, I can dry brush over the top of this and give it a good, you know, color and stuff like that. So, all right, we'll start with that. I am going to just put a little bit down on here just to kind of help it. So once I get this done, unless it's pouring, because we've been having rain here most of the weekend, if it's not raining, I will try to put it out beside the tree. Hey, Jeannie, welcome. So that you guys can kind of see like the full vision for what I have of this. If it's raining, then I will have to do it at a different time and just post the pictures. And the one thing with like the t-shirt material is the edges where you cut it will like automatically roll, which gives you a really nice texture. All right, I'm gonna take this stick, because sometimes it works a little bit better if you have something to kind of like gather your Now, originally with my design, my husband had his own design and he just made his arched. I initially wanted my door so it was cut in half, but I'm gonna just go with the one door, but with the odd shape for right now. Come on, crease right there. There we go. So this will be touch dry. I'll be able to color it today, but I won't be able to actually set it outside for 3 to 4 weeks or so. All right, so I'm just gonna lay that over the top because I'm gonna cut off some of that excess. Now see how my fingers are already getting really sticky? So I might end up having to rinse my hands here. All right, so I'm gonna go on this side now. Wait, that's a long one, so I'll put that. I think I have, this one's a little shorter, I think. Yeah, all right. Yeah, and you should have seen my kitchen when we got done cutting the styrofoam, guys. I mean, you know how styrofoam goes, right? Oh, let me just put some. It definitely helps if you wet your surface first with this medium. Kind of, because this works as a glue as well. So that's why I bought the transparent, because that's how I ended up putting the necklace and the earrings on my sculpture, is I used the transparent. And I do have, let me wash my hands here a little bit. There we go. You can only go so far, and then your gloves start getting dry and you start sticking. Take my little stick here. Yeah, so I've had styrofoam balls going everywhere. Now is that? I want to make sure that it covers the top. A section that's kind of rolled up. So I do have some of the sand and the little balls that I can put towards like the bottom of the door, just to kind of, you know, like maybe it rained and some dirt got on the bottom of the door, or slide that up a little bit. I'm hoping that this fabric sticks to the styrofoam. I'm hoping and praying it does. And actually, before I get too far, I'm gonna, let me dry a section so I can make sure, because if not, I'm gonna end up putting the stone coat on it and then replacing the fabric. So let me just dry this corner here. Like I said, I'm still learning with this, but yes, it does seem like it's gonna stick. Okay. Okay, so we know it's gonna stick, because it would suck to get through the whole thing and find out that it doesn't stick. And then I'd have to do it all over. But then this fabric would be no good because it would be dry. So I might have done too many pieces at one time. So I'm just re-wetting these. Okay. Now I'll stretch this open. So I'm just joining the two pieces of fabric. Get off there, styrofoam. Ah, I got styrofoam sticking everywhere. There we go. To have a nice wet base. All right, so let's So yeah, the first person that I saw ever do this was Claire from Claire's Crafty Corner, and she had done a glass piece, and my brain just started like going crazy on the things that I could do. So I tried looking for some videos. There's a few. This product is from Belgium. This is where it was originated from. Which finally, something that's, you know, not made in China. but I was stoked to find out we had a warehouse local that I could pick up my stuff. Because how cool is that? You know, you're in the middle of doing something and you run out of something, you're like, crap, now I don't want to wait 3 days, 4 days for it to get delivered. Why do I feel like this is not going to adhere? Why, oh why do I feel that it's not? Yeah, that one did. So I guess we just have to make sure that it's really pressed down, so that when it dries, it is adhered. All right, so I need one more strip for the middle. Let me wash my hands and pour out some more. So this is the black one, which this new formula is now waterproof, which is awesome. It's not just water resistant. All right, so. And then I'm going to try and trim off some of the excess, and then I'm going to dry it. I'll take my gloves off and we will get it dried. And then I'm going to put a window in here. All right, so let me just spin this around. I want to get some of this powder underneath this edge over here, just so we have something for this fabric to stick onto, so that when I'm going to cut it and then I'm going to dry it. So you have a pretty good working time with this, which is really cool. All right, so let me cut some of this. Okay, and we're going to save these little scraps because we might be able to do something with that. Okay, I'm going to get this side wet again. And then I'll cut the extra off. Okay. So that way I don't have a whole bunch like hanging over. So when I dry it, you know, it's right on there. So let me cut this side. This side seems like it's sticking while it was. Okay. And we'll get this, and then I'm going to take my gloves off, and we'll get this dried. So if you guys have any questions, put it in the comment, and I will, when I'm drying this, I will try to catch up on comments in case I missed any. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash my gloves, and then I'm going to dry them, and that way I can reuse them. So how did I already get some inside my hands? I'm telling you guys. And this stuff is non-toxic, so you don't have to worry about, you know, getting it on your skin, because it's totally fine. I am going to put that over there, though. All right, so let me see here. Hey, Deborah, I am making a fairy house, hun. Hey, Star. I think I got everybody. Hey, Sue. Oh, I got it on my elbow. All right, so what I'm doing now is trying to just get this somewhat adhered so that I can go on to my next, to the next step. All right, let me get this side. Come on. There we go. Which is another reason why you don't want your material to be like too thick with the medium, because it takes longer to dry. Yeah, this stuff is totally addictive. So I will be working on a resin project for a video for tomorrow night, guys. So don't think I'm not doing the resin anymore. I am. It's just I had a few ideas that I wanted to kind of explore with this stuff. So It's definitely sticking now. And I wanted to pick something that wasn't going to take, you know, a crap ton of time, but so what's everybody's plans for Mother's Day next weekend? I'm having all my kids over and we're going to do a brisket on the smoker. Okay. So that's definitely sticking now. Hey, Pamela. So basically, I wanted to get this layer dry enough that it's gonna stay down so that I can go and start my next layer. So you know what this else, look at it. This looks like a gravestone. This stuff is going to be amazing for Halloween stuff, guys. So I am going to make a couple of these to bring to the art walk on Friday. And see how they go. Well, providing this one turns out the way I want it to. It's stuck enough that we can start with our next layer. So I'm going to flip you back down. And I'm going to put my sticky gloves back on. And I'm going to do my rope. So I want my rope to kind of go around this edge. There we go. And this side's got plastic on it, and I don't know why. So I'm going to try to cut that off. Where is my X-Acto? Right here. Oh. They probably did it so that it wouldn't fray. Yeah, there we go. All right. But, all right, so initially, this is how I wanted it, was on the outside. Yeah, I think I still do. Yeah. Okay. So I'm saving these pieces because I'm gonna try to make some vines with that. So I'm just going to completely get this into the medium and get it coated. So it doesn't matter like what color your stuff that you're working with, unless you wanted, like say you had a fabric that you wanted the fabric to show, then you would use the clear medium. It goes on white and it dries clear. You know, kind of like some of the glues and the tack it over and over that we use. It's got that same thing. All right, so, and I have a hair of something. Actually, I think it was a piece of the rope. The only thing with this is I find you definitely need a little bit more space to work with. So like I said, this works as a glue, so you just, you know, have to hold it on there for a little bit till it gets that bond with the, when it starts getting tacky. Okay. Now, if I was smart, I probably would have put it in sections, but I wanted it to be one continuous piece. Okay. Come on, I had you sticking. Okay. All right, so now I want to do like a window in the door. So basically, this is going to be our little doorknob. Actually, I'm gonna and I wanted to try to keep it silver, and I dropped it in there. Hang on. I just wanted the bottom to be, I wanted to keep that silver texture. All right, I'm just gonna set that aside for now. I'll do that after. Now I had some twine, and I was looking for it earlier, and I cannot for the life of me find it. So what I'm gonna do with this is we're gonna twist a couple of these up, and I'm gonna try and make it, I'm gonna put a couple of them together, And we're gonna try to make these like vines climbing on the door. You know, kind of like that. Let me get this one wound. And then we can color these in green. Come on. Just to kind of give a little bit of texture. So I'm just taking these pieces of fabric and just kind of twisting them. And kind of crossing over on some. I don't know. I just knew I wanted some sort of like little vines. Just a little bit on there. Yeah, I think that'll do. All right, so I'm gonna open up this and we're gonna use this see if I can find an opening piece without getting my hands on everything. Oh, right there. All right, so let me just cut. Now, what I should have done is I should have flattened this out beforehand. And I didn't give that a thought. But we can, it can be like curtains or something. Okay. A little bit more. And I'll just have to remember to wash my bottle good before I completely go upstairs for the day. Yeah, I'll just flatten that down. That's what I'll do. And that way, when I get ready to paint it, I can paint it so that it looks like there's lights on inside. Let's see. Got another piece of fabric here, so let's twist this. And this will start really coming together once I like completely dry it and start putting some color on here. So you can use acrylic paint on this. This is a water-based product, so you can I gotta leave a little spot for my doorknob. Okay, and that can be another little vine of some sort. Okay. All right, let me try and get my doorknob on here with there we go. All right, let me take these gloves off so I can get the brackets on, our little hinges. What I need is a big, like, blower that blows down so that when I'm done, I can, oh, well, I guess that glove ain't gonna work anymore. All right, I'll just grab a new pair in the next one. All right, let's get some hardware opened up. I had to move my vine. All right, so let me So I'm going to start drying some of this. Oh, I did want to use some, a little bit of this like sand down at the bottom to give it a little bit more texture. This was part of the the kit I bought, and I haven't tried these yet. So I did want to try some of these. It's like an extra fine sand. And they will pick up the color of whatever, you know, your medium is. So I'm just going to sprinkle some in those wetter areas. You know, because the bottom of the door kind of gets ucky sometimes. Just trying to get these pushed in. Actually, I'm going to take a little brush. And then I just rinse my brush right in the water right away and dry it off. Okay, so let me go ahead and start getting this dried. Now I will do something with the back side, but I won't do it on a live. Just, you know, I'm trying to keep it down to a decent amount of time, but also show you different things you can do with this product. I want to get it dried so you guys can start, you know, so I can start adding some color to it, basically. And then I'm sure I will embellish a lot more after, but I at least wanted you guys to see the different products that you can use with this stuff. Now, had I been bright, when I did these, I could have soaked them in the green universal medium. And then I wouldn't have had to paint them, but that's fine. You know, and once this is hard, it is bonded. So I'm just basically, I want it so that it's like touch dry pretty much everywhere. At least everywhere that I want to color it. Let me see if there's any comments I missed. Hey, Claire. Yes, this is so much fun. You want to get some and try it? Yes, Pamela. It is awesome. Yes, I am picking up on this, Deborah, really quick. It's like it was meant for me. It's really, you know, and I could have done better on the sculpture, but now, now I know what to do different the next time. But this is only my third time using this, guys. It's that easy. The first one I did that base, and I didn't have like a lot of stuff to add to it. I got it in the mail and I went live. You know, it was just kind of one of those weird, you know, I got it, I want to try it type of thing. But yes. So I do have a boy bust, I guess you would call them. It is so this is the boy one. So I'm looking for maybe like a fishing pole or something that I can do a statue with. Thanks, Jess. Jeannie, sorry. I was trying to look there and, all right, so, and this stuff it cleans out of here so good. It peels off like resin on silicone. That's kind of how this stuff peels off plastic. So that's the only medium that you can't use this stuff on. So I have got some brown pigment powder. Mica powders do work. That's kind of what I've been using. In fact, that is what I'm going to use to do the vines. So let me, as much as I thought I was organized here, I need to grab a plate to mix my varnish in. All right, so oh, guys, I almost forgot my little sign. Let's see. I want to, because this is going to go like at the top. So this side's still a little bit wet. So I'm just going to flip this over on the plastic back here so the back side can dry. And then we'll color it. So what you do for the color is you have the Easy Gloss, and you have either a mica powder or I think even the pigment powder that I use for my mix to mold. In fact, let me grab that green to see. All right. So this is the powder that I used in the mix to mold. So you can actually make like mix to mold pieces and attach them to this. Because actually, this flower is one of my mix to mold flowers that I just I dip the back of it in there and I put it in, and now that's like on there. So mix to mold works really, really good with this stuff, guys. So I am, get a little stick, and we're gonna put some of that green pigment. So I was talking to the distributor, and I would like to take the certified instructor course, but it's like $1,200. So, and I don't have $1,200. So it's going to be a while. I'm going to have to, you know, save up little bits at a time, but I definitely would like to do that because this has been in Europe for years and years, but it's just now becoming more popular in the States. So if anybody wants the link to any of this product, if you're in the US, I can gladly share that. All right, so we're gonna mix the green first. So I'm just gonna take some of the varnish. I'm gonna dip it into the powder, and then you just, they say to wipe it off on a towel, on a paper towel, because you want more dry brushing. But if you want more saturation, then I don't wipe it on a paper towel. When I want it, you know, to be more of that prominent color. And this stuff is working awesome, guys. So, yes, we can use the pigments from the same stuff that we use in mix to mold. All right, so let's get some on this other vine, and I definitely poured too much green, but that's okay. Because I want it to be more like, you know, like these are vines. And this does dry darker, so it's kind of like acrylic paint, where as this, you know, dries, the color will deepen. So I figured we would get some color on it, and then I will see if we want to like add some flowers or something on the side of the door. I don't know. All right, so I'm going to take some of this dark brown. So that's the dark brown pigment, and I'm going to put a little bit more of this because we're going to be doing the whole door. So I know I'm going to need definitely a lot more. In fact, what I should have done was just put it in here, but let's see. So I'm just very loosely getting this brown on to give it that wood look. And I don't want to do the rope around the window because I want that to be a different color. So I could be using acrylic paint right now too and coloring this. And you could kind of do it the same way, just lightly, you know, over the top and get your highlighted areas. And I will turn it around here in a minute so you guys can kind of see it instead of it being upside down. Oh, I went over my grain. It's all right, I can go over it again. So I want to leave some of the dark because you know, it's supposedly going to be whimsical, so, oh, crap, forgot about my handle here. All right, I will have to, so let me just kind of, so that is how this is looking so far, guys. All right, so I'm just gonna turn this back around and I am gonna go back over with the green for a second time. So it's like anything, the more layers of color and stuff that you put on, the more it's going to brighten and come, you know, to the foreground. Because, I mean, obviously, my husband's going to say this is too dark because he wants it to be seen from the tree. But this is this is the color that I wanted it to be. So I said, which one do you want me to do? He goes, you do yours now because I don't want to be telling you I want this and that and you're on a live and it takes too long. So you do you and then we'll do mine. I said, okay. Okie dokie, we can do that. And the other thing that we realized, I know some of you probably know, but not everybody. We make cement statues in the, like from now until fall. And some of them, we don't buy them with the fiberglass housing because the molds are already hundreds of dollars. So I will be able to make my housings out of this stuff. So that's going to allow me to buy cheaper molds and make my own housings. Okay, so I want, let's see. I think I'm going to do a blue on the rope. But first, I am going to get some acrylic paint, some orange and yellow, and we're going to start giving this window some light. I know I have a roll of twine somewhere. And do you think, because I wanted it for today, that I could find it? Of course not. Of course not. I couldn't. I'm still looking for it, guys. Because I wanted to use that to make my inside of my window, but I cannot find it, so we're gonna do yellow. Let's see, I know I have an orange. All right. So I want a little bit of orange first. And I'm just gonna put a little bit and some yellow. Oh, well, I guess I'm gonna have to get another yellow. This one's kind of getting cruddy looking here. So I'm just going to wipe off the extra, and I just want to get it so that it's going to look like somebody is home. And you got to remember, we're working with a black base, so everything is going to take a little bit more to get that desired color that you want. But it also, oh, look, I got some of that pigment powder in my yellow and I turned it green. All right, so let me just pick up some of the yellow. And because if you put yellow right over the black, you're gonna end up with a green. All right, I gotta get that powder to go to the other end because it's messing my colors up here. So I'm just mixing some of the yellow in with the orange now to try to lighten this up just a smidge. And then when we go in with that yellow, it stands out a little bit more. All right. So now I am going to use the interference powder in blue. If I can find a clean spot here on my little plate. I used some of this on my statue that I did yesterday, and it was really, really pretty. And I'm trying to get some of that clear varnish without any of the color speckled in it. So I'm just adding a very light, actually, let me take the green one and let's try the green over this darker green, see if we can lighten that up a little. So I'm just gonna dip it in there, dip it in here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, that is gorgeous. And it gives that shimmer that, you know, we want, because it's a whimsical little fairy house. So you want some shimmer. Come on, dry handle. All right. Okay. So I'm going to move this back here a little bit so we can work on our sign. Because remember, we started the video with this, making this little sign. So I want this, I'm gonna do it in the blue and that interference blue. Look at how pretty that is. All right. All right, there we go. I do want to have something written on here. Magical fairy house is what I think I'm going to put. So I'm probably going to have to put that in acrylic, and then we'll put the clear gloss over it. But let's see. I'm thinking I want something around the outside, but I wanted my twine, and I cannot, for the life of me, find my ball of twine. It's a ball this big, guys, and I have misplaced it somewhere. All right, let me grab my acrylic white marker. This is kind of like an off-white, but I think I think it's going to work anyways. That's the fat end, and that's the skinny end. Okay. So, I wanted to make sure I had enough room to... Thanks, Jenny. All right, so... All right, so I changed it. Magical fairies live here. So this that's going to be on the tree, and then this is going to be like above it. I was going to make it a sign on the bottom, but I think putting it above it, I think, is going to be the better way to go. Let me, all right. We can try our other little balls here. And I'm going to use the, let me just put this plate here. Let me use my cover. So I'm going to use the, that's the white. This is the transparent, because the transparent is waterproof. So I am just going to put a little bit down. Whoa. All right, a lot of it. A lot of it. There's my rocks right here. I could pour that back in after. So I'm gonna come on. So we might end up using like 2 sizes. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna dip them in to the medium. And that way, I know they're gonna stay. Because this will dry clear. Just to kind of give a little something something on the sign to make it kind of stand out. Let me try to sprinkle some of these littler ones in between, because now there's a lot of okay. And let's put a little on this side. Oh, fingers was stuck together. It's the only thing, when your fingers start getting tacky, everything sticks to them. All right, there we go. So even though there's white over here, it's gonna dry clear, so I'm not concerned with that at all. Just to put something, you know, on our sign, so it's whimsical. All right. So we're done with the balls. But I was thinking, wipe my brush off here. My fingers. See, this is the cardboard that I was saying. This was like in one of my orders that I got. Now this would have made like a beautiful texture on something too, so I saved it. So I can use it at a later date. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna end up having to get some more of the little flowers, guys, because I've been using them up. So we want a few little flowers on our vines. Let's see. You pick out a few different colors. Got orange and yellow. Got a yellow here. Do blue. All right. These flowers seem to stick way better. So we're gonna put one up at the top, and we'll put another one, not quite at the top. I want this one higher than this one. And then we can use less of little flowers. All right, so let me put those there. And then I'll figure out these. So I'm gonna just put them over there. And this is how I put them on to my other piece. So I snip back just a little bit, and this is the universal medium. So I just put that in like that, and then press that down. And that's all you have to do. So I did the stem and some on the leaves, just so it has, you know, a little something extra to grip. And let's do this one. So even though there's white on it, don't worry about it because it's going to dry clear. So we don't even have to worry. All right, so transparent. And just a little bit more. We'll have that one coming off there. Making sure those are pushed down nice and good. And hang on, I've got to add a little bit more of this medium there, so the balls have a little more to grip. All right, my fingers are so sticky. All right. And when they're sticky, you can't do nothing. All right, so my sign didn't come out exactly how I wanted it, but it will serve the purpose. So then what I would do is, like, once this is all dry, I will go over it with the clear medium again to coat the whole thing over. But I am going to rewrite over the letters because I want them to be, I want them to really stand out. Yeah, I'll probably redo this a sign, but just for today's purpose, so that way it just stands out a little bit more. So when we attach it over the little fairy door here, and then we're gonna have the sign like right above it. So yeah, what do you guys think? Oh, as I just take off a whole bunch of my balls because I stuck my finger in it before it was dry. Oh, come on. All right. So I will do something with the back, but I want to make sure that everything is firm on this side before I touch the back. So let me, I'm gonna go back in with a little bit of orange in here. You know, that could be like curtains in the window, but you got just a little bit of that light shining through. So our doorknob is now staying. All right, let me just kind of get some of my mess off my hands here. So it washes really good with just soap and water. Yeah, that way I'm not like sticking to everything. Look at my nails. So I think we're just gonna let this finish drying. Like I said, I'm not really happy with that sign. I don't know why. I don't know. It's like it almost needs something. You know? I don't know. If I could find that other twine, but let me flip you up here. Oh, thank you, Jeannie, so much. Thank you for the, I think it's a super chat. I just saw the little emblem on the top. Thank you so much. So we could do it two ways. Oh, minus the loss. So we could put it here, or as I'm looking at it now, we could attach it to the door. Thank you so much, Pam. So yeah, so it's gonna take a bit for this this knob to dry because it's got a hollow inside it. So that is gonna definitely take a little bit. And I'm trying to like move my these things, my hinges, because once that dries, that's going to be hard. So I want them just sticking out. And it will also be a way of like putting a screw in there to attach it to the tree. Yeah, I should have thought and put this on first, but I didn't. So I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I could add to this. I think we're going to call this one done for this time. I mean, I've got 4 or 5 more pieces of styrofoam already cut up to make more. So it's just a matter of, you know, like each one I do will, I'm hoping, Jeannie. I know, I'm anxious to see it in place too. Bring bound paper on a roll. Yes, Pamela. I think I actually have some. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Do I need to seal the door after it's painted? Yes. Yeah. So anything like where I painted, I'm going to go and put a clear the clear medium, because this is the white. This is the transparent. So the new formulas now are waterproof. So this is where it will tell you that it's waterproof. So anything that I put on here, even my flowers, I will coat them in this transparent medium where this is going to be going outside. What I should have done was dip the whole flower in it. But then I got to wait for that to dry in order for you guys to get to see what it looks like up against the tree. So we have 3 different sizes right now. We have this shape. Then let me grab the others. So depending on how big your tree is, will depend on like what size door that you would want. So basically my husband cut them out of cardboard. So this this is the one that we're doing today. So we did this one today. This is the big one. And then this is the small one, which is the size of mine, but it's rounded. So, those are the 3 sizes so far that we've come up with. One of our other ideas are, you know, like sometimes you have a branch that you've had to cut off on a tree, and now you have like a stump. Well, we want to make like, make it look so it's like a bunny hole, or just it's a way of adding to a tree that has like an eyesore broken branch type thing, you know, has that stump. So I don't know, I think these are gonna sell, and they're lightweight. They look heavy, but they're lightweight. So another thing that I'm gonna do is, this is my cement statue, and this is my little pug one. I haven't painted him yet. But I have an elephant, and the elephant is smooth. So what I want to do is I want to take this with the fabric and make it so that he looks like that leathered elephant skin with the wrinkles and the texture all over him. So I have one cement statue all done that was left from last year. So it's just going to be a matter of, you know, bringing it in. I just got to wait. It's been raining, so I want to make sure he's completely dried through before I do that. So, yeah. Oops. So then another thing that we could also do for this sign is we could attach the rope in the back. So then you could hang it like on the tree, or you could put a nail in the door, this fairy door, so that you'd have the nail showing that the sign is hanging on the door. So there's like, every time I'm doing something, I'm like, oh, I could do this and this and this. And yeah, it's addicting, guys. Alrighty, does anybody have any other questions? To place an orchid. Yes, beautiful place to plant it, to put an orchid. And again, you could put these high up in the tree, down low. It's all personal preference. So I'm going to try and get this handle to stay on. If not, in the picture with it leaned on the tree, it might not have the doorknob, or I might have to like kind of hold it and keep my fingers out of the way so you guys can see what it looks like. So I will get a picture, and then I'll make a post so that you can see what it looks like, you know, up against the tree. So yeah. All right. Does anybody have any other questions before I end this live and go get some supper going for the family, and then clean up my mess again? You should have seen this place today. It was like I had stuff everywhere. So I came down, I got everything picked up. I'm like, okay, now I can set up and do a live without it being a mess. So like I said, I will be starting a resin project. Maybe try making a rope pull for the doorknob. Is that what you said? Oh, that's an idea. That would be... Or we could make a door, like a door knocker. Maybe that's what you were saying. Let me see. Maybe try making a rope pull for the doorknob. That might work too. Like this, it's attached. It's just because it's heavy and it's not fully dried. Let me just give it some heat. But you just gave me another amazing idea. You know how like when you have the old houses, you would like bang it? You could definitely, what could I put? Okay, now I'm thinking my, like in my jewelry stuff. Because that would definitely be cute. Let's see. I'm gonna, yeah, I got that laying down. Hang on. Let me, no, dryer, you're supposed to be over here. Yes, large door ring knocker. Let's, I don't have any, let's see, I don't have any, I think that's big enough for what I want in this. I suppose we could put a ball of yarn as the door knocker. Oh, now I gotta try it, guys. I got to try it. All right, so I need my twine. The twine would work so much better because this looks big. Yeah, I would need the twine. Where, oh God, did I put that? I don't know. We could even attach one of these. I'm just gonna pull it out enough. I know, Jenny. Oh, let me see. Look what I added to the top. A little windmill thingy. Let me, might be, thank you, Jenny. Yay. All right, so let's, because, where's my charm? Let me get my pliers. All right, so I'm gonna open this. And we're gonna put this twine in there. There we go. Reattach this. All right, so let me just flip you back down here for a sec. So I'm gonna tie a knot. Like that. So what do you think? And that way they have a little door knocker. I think that's kind of cute. So we need to the universal. No, what was that? Nobody is home. I like that, Pamela. All right, so all I'm gonna do for this, because this rope is, I mean, it's twine, I'm going to just put it on the knot part. And we are just gonna attach it there. And then we're gonna let that dry. And now we have a door knocker. When nobody's home. All right, let me dry that real quick. I mean, that's the thing, when you start with this, and like yesterday I was working on my statue and I went upstairs to take a break, and then all of a sudden I had 3 other ideas pop into my head. So I was like, oh my goodness, this is addicting. Of course, I put a big thick gob, but that's all right. It'll dry, and it'll dry clear, so. So yeah, I think I'm gonna redo the sign. I don't know. I'm not really liking the sign. Oh, these are so fun. So fun. And let me flip you back up. There we go. We have our finished door. Knock, knock, nobody home. And we even have a little thing that I just stuck in the styrofoam. So like I said, I will do something on the back. You don't have to, but I might just lay like one piece of fabric over the back just so it's not white, or I might paint it black. But yeah, so I'll go ahead. I'm going to end this video, and I'm going to, hopefully it's not raining. Jenny, is it raining out? And if it's not raining, I will lean it up against the tree and get a picture for you guys so you can see, and then I'll get that posted. The color of the twine is much better. Yes, Mary Beth, I agree. And that's what I was looking for, because I could have left that all natural, but so I didn't like the white, so we colored it. You are so welcome. Thanks for hanging out with me and spending your Sunday afternoon with me. I so appreciate it, guys. So yeah, so stay tuned. We will be having some more of these, and they're fun because I can do them live and pretty much finish them. So they won't always be this, but probably a little bit for a little bit, if you know what I mean. So yeah, so if you guys would like to see the process of making how I made the statue, put that in the comments. And oh my God, Claire, it's 10 p.m. there. Well, good night, sweetie. Because I have a little boy to do, and I think I want to do him with like fishing. But yeah, I could do like little bits of, I think so too, Jeannie. I think so. I think the door knocker just did it. It finished it off. You know, and I could go back over the vines again to lighten them, but I think I like this color combination. You too, Deborah. Alrighty, guys. So I will go get some pictures and a little, oh, crap. So if not, I'll post it tomorrow. As soon as it's not raining, I will go out and get a picture for you guys. So, thanks for hanging with me, and I will see you guys all on the next video. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Hang on here. If I don't, I'm not going to be able to end it if I have to disconnect from my TV. There, geez, Alrighty, guys. Bye.